Welcome out, ladies and gentlemen, to the RGL.GG 6v6 Grand Finals as Froyotech takes on Smiley, and will be an epic showdown in a best-of-5 map series starting on Viaduct and going all the way across just a few more maps, and we'll see if Froyotech, the Dynasty team, they've been so good, we got a bounty on top of them, $400 on top of the thousands of dollars that teams have a chance of winning here tonight in our $9,500 prize pool. I am Sigafu. I'm joined out here with some amazing 6v6 casters to my side. I got Marmaloo and Frick my Nick with Dolphin behind the scenes. How you doing out here, Marmaloo?
Doing good. Kind of excited about this. Been waiting a while.
That's good.
We started with good product. Gotta love Viaduct.
It's gonna be awesome. Frick my Nick, how you doing out here?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to see some Koth in the playoffs here, because I don't think any team has played Koth yet in the playoffs. I think it's all been 5 CP, so it'll be good to see some King of the Hill action.
And I think that's the thing that's really fun about King of the Hill versus 5CP Marmaloo. We were kind of talking about this in the pregame before we went live, is that it's a kind of a map type that kind of allows teams to make upsets. You know, do you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, if someone's on fire, like especially if you have a really good sniper who's just not missing, you can just win purely off that. And if your demo's rolling, anybody that steps up can just win you the game if they're playing well enough.
And like Frick my Nick, like is there kind of strats that you're expecting out of these teams? Maybe some class switch ups or anything along those lines that we're going to be seeing. And then we're also live in 90 here, guys. So just stick tuned. But yeah, Frick, anything special you think we should be looking out for?
I would not be surprised to see Smiley running a sniper, because they do have Ash and Moo are both phenomenal snipers. So Ash could flex over on the scout role if Moo wanted to play sniper, and Ash would be pretty easy to switch over to the sniper role because it's easier to have a soldier play sniper and have the 2 scouts for the DM map that is product.
Well, here, just before we get started live, I want to give a shout out to these teams. So Froyotech has Banny, Eric, Blaze, Yamps, Habib, and Cookie Jake on Medic tonight. Smiley will have Moo and Corsa, Ash, Sai, Zadler on demo, and 404 on Medic. So obviously some big names all around on these teams. As I thought we were going live. I was told we were going live. We should have been live by now. It should be just a couple seconds, or we got you baited. Either or here, as we kind of get up with this. I mean, who are the players that, Marmaloo, that you think are going to need to step up on Smiley to be able to take on Froyotech? Or who do you think is like able to take, match up with Froyotech in these 1v1s to be able to potentially cause an upset here?
What I think needs to happen is the soldiers on Smiley need to keep Habib under control. They can't let him just take over the game. Of course, he's a constant. He's going to do the same thing. And mainly, I want to see if Zayler can step it up and perform at the same level.
And here we go. We are finally live. First round. This is going to be a best-of-7 map series here on Viaduct. We got Smiley coming out on red, Froyotech on blue. Early out here, Zayler pushing out to this mid-fight double jump, going across his Blaze to the enemy Valley, being chased down there by Corsa as Froyotech's trying to get across. Ash getting denied there as you see a soldier going down for either side of a 404 gets taken out by Yams as Froyotech looks to be taking this first fight their way.
Yeah, so the fight going to Froyo's favor, a common thing you're going to see is Blaze and Yomps flying around the skybox constantly the entire game. Blaze drawing a scout's eyes while his entire team pushes point. They just clean it all up with the soldier getting the med and Blaze drawing some eyes from the scout.
And it looks like Froyotech, they're not opting to go for a forward hold here. Kind of holding a little bit on the point. Still no real off-classing.
You're going to see a 4-man here from Smiley Face. They're going to sack 4 people, keeping their med scout alive, trying to get a force. But Froyo sees they overextended a little bit, bombing in with the Uber, trying to get 4-4, and they do get a basically full wipe. That's the problem. If you get too aggro on Cliff, taking too much time for a forward hold, they can just Uber straight in and wipe you.
And so in that situation, what did we need to see differently out of Smiley? Was it just that the medic committed too hard, that the medic needed to stay further back and spawn?
Yeah, either that or they need to play closer to main so they can't get caught as hard, because the Cliff you can't see around, and Sai was behind, gets cleaned up, which is going to be really bad for this fight. They're going to have to wait for the Sai to spawn here, or take a fight 5v6.
I mean, they do have a few seconds where they are at least, Froyotech doesn't have, Uber. They can try to maybe do something off of that, but it looks like actually Ash is getting pushed in here on Valley side. Very aggressive out of Froyotech. Gonna pick up that frag and just kind of force Smiley just not to be able to hold themselves, but they are coming up to 100% here. So 4-4 is going to have, so, you know, in this even Uber situation coming up, with Moo coming back up right now, what are you expecting to see out of Smiley with this push?
Most teams run a pyro, or they're going to trade out through the grass side and take an Uber exchange. But one thing you're going to see is a lot of that flank pushing by the entirety of both soldiers and the scout, pushing the other team's grass, and Ash really has to be able to kite that or handle it well. So they're going to come in with a pyro, try and get some space, get the soldiers out of the way, and either take a trade or sack, but Zayler going down, and this pyro's not making a lot of space. Ash in on the med, good force, and now that's going to drain a bit of time off the clock, but now they get a chance to take their Uber ad in. Hopefully they don't get forced too early. They need to try and get as deep as possible and get either a med, a demo, or just a couple flank picks.
And we'll see what they do. Nice job out of Moo there, stuffing that Uber charge and coming back in. Here comes in 404. Goes down to half HP. Ash is going to get taken out very early on here. Only Yam's going down so far in this fight, and Froyotech is barely taking any damage. They were doing a great job at kiting that. They have given up the point for the most part, but they're looking to try to re-engage here. Blaze up on the concrete side. Moo trying to push into him as well. Of course, they do pick up a frag. Blaze is going to go down as well, and Smiley doing a nice job here with this push.
And Sai getting on Habib. Habib had a trap up. They're going to trade side for Habib. You take that every time, but the respawn advantage is on the side of blue. Good job focusing down the flank, winning the... trading out the players, getting the 2-player ad there. And now, with slight Uber ad from Froyo and Habib spawning up, this could be bad. They need to be able to get a force, get a playoff, but Ash gets run at by both scouts. But Cookie dies to a trap along with Eric. Great job from Campy, and now this is all being able to keep their med alive. Yomps is in, gets clean up, and this should be a clean fight for Smiley Face here.
Yeah, this is a nice job by them. They're not even going to lose the point. It was pretty close because I was, worried at least it was going to let Froyotech drain a little bit more time off that. And, with them still beating a minute and a half down, that was significant. Not only that, but now they also have a huge Uber advantage. And so now, Froyotech is going to be on the back heel for the first time. And here we go, bomb in, early pop off on 404. They wanted to keep the medic alive, but I don't know. That was a questionable pop, would you say?
They were trying to do what Froyo was doing, and now they have a sniper, which you do want when you're defending, but now it's going to be a lot on Ash. With not having a soldier to bomb anything, they need to get a key pick here or a drop. Something big. Otherwise, this could be bad with not one soldier being able to peel for the combo. And Froyo's going to come with the Uber ad. We're most likely going to see a bomb in from the demo, trying to make sure they don't get sniped. I'm pretty sure they spotted it. Yomps in behind on the sniper, and this threat should be sealed. And now both soldiers down, basically, but they do get a force off for some reason.
Yeah, it was actually from the soldier behind. I believe it was Sai who was hiding inside of house and jumped onto Cookie Jake. 4-4 has to be careful. He was going down pretty low courses, actually able to win that 1v1. Now Banny's in the back heel, running back to the point, trying to keep his life alive as he's being chased by 2 scouts. He's able to get a nice arrow from Cookie Jake, but they are going to continue to hold on to that point. It looks so nice for Froyotech. Finally, Banny is going to get some pressure. Here comes double bomb in from Sai. Oh, Blaze! He lands him in the air! What a shot! As the overcharge is going to come out. Corsa chasing down Yomps. He's going to go down as they continue to defend the point. Eric is behind, taking ×2 onto there, but they're holding onto this, and they're going to take the lead.
Yeah, big things that I was talking about that needed to happen. Zayler stepping up and then being able to shut down Habib. Corsa, once again, being that constant force, taking 1v1 with Eric, loses it, and that's really big with the bad spawners, and they're going to pull people back. Eric and Habib getting killed by a trap. And this could be good. Zayler is just doing work right now. What I was saying, he needs to step up and they need to handle Habib, and he did both himself.
He's doing a great job pushing forward onto Yams. He actually eats a rocket, able to get out with his life just barely. As Sai gonna run into Yams, but Yams with that overheal is gonna keep his life. 7 seconds left on the clock, but we are gonna have a fair bit of overtime with how captured that point is. Cookie Jake coming up to 92% as they continue to press onto the point. They will come down with the capture as 4-4 slowly getting closer as they're already back at spawn. 30 seconds left on the clock for Smiley to respond.
This is going to be all on this Uber exchange, and if anybody on Smiley gets dropped without a trade frag, this could be really bad. They're going to take the Uber up slope. 4-4 getting a quick force with the pipe from Habib, and this Uber's going to be so much better from Froyo, and they're going to take it in here. They're most likely going to kill the med. Sai dying. They're bombing in deep, and all they need to do is just make sure they can't cap the point, and really good counter Uber from Froyo. Unless some disaster, this should be a round for Froyo.
They're trying, they're poking it, but no, they all walk off the point. But with so many Froyotech players alive, they looked so close for Froyotech to drop that first round. Smiley did such a nice job coming back from at least a 2-minute disparity. to be able to actually have a chance that round, taking it all the way down to 1 second, but Froyotech doing their job in that first round, 1-0, as it is first to 4 on Viaduct coming into this next point. And I'll let you take it away as these teams are fighting it out.
Yeah, Froyo not opting to go aggro early, so it's going to be a slower spam mid until a big opening happens. Blaze and Ash trading a lot of damage. Side of Smiley taking the point, a lot more aggro with Habib being weak. Both scouts on cap, and they're getting all the cap time. Blaze very weak. Yomps jumps onto Zaylor to draw some aggression away. And Eric coming in from the connector. We're going to trade
nice
Eric
pipe.
for Corsa. And Habib gets caught as a turn. Well,
Yeah. You're going a little bit robot there, but it was a nice job out of Zaylor. You've been talking about him. He's been doing work, and that's going to be a midpoint in the favor of Smiley. And just to remind you, this is the pick from Smiley. This was their map choice, and they're also playing down a map because Froyotech came in with the map advantage. They get one free map since there is no bracket reset. But 100% on either side. Let's see how Froyotech wants to attack this.
yeah. Smiley making sure they can't get it on very early. Blaze going in, getting picked early. They're going to get the trade onto Moo.
Ooh.
Banny dying, that's really big. Combo scout down. Now they can keep poking and try and get the force here. Zaylor taking a lot of damage, but they get the force out from Froyo, and this is going to be way better if they even pop, which they're not. And now they get another 40 seconds about of Froyo trying to get Uber, and they're most likely going to turn it into a 4-man sack.
A nice shot out of 4-4. That force off cannot be found as Yam's coming in here. He's trying to do just that, getting denied. Habib getting annihilated as he goes into a 3-man sack, does just that. Sacrifices himself for nothing as Smiley holds on. And they are looking much stronger now that they're holding on to this point. And Cookie Jake, they're coming up to 100% again. We'll see if they can have a better Uber exchange in this coming fight.
Yeah, that sack really got stuffed by Ash, dealing with Blaze through connector, and now they didn't opt to forward hold, but they're going to keep waiting, ticking off the time, and Corsa, if he sees an opening, he's going to go for the Uber here.
See what they can do. Looks like Smiley is getting themselves set up. Froyotech looking to go through that lower side right along Cliff. 4 players there, 2 players on flank. Corsa peeking as well. Sailor getting a lot of... Habib's going to go down. He gets dropped before his Uber can come out. Cookie Jake was smart enough to save him last time. 4-4 does go down to half HP as we see Yams go behind. Here comes in Blaze going into the skybox. But right now, Smiley has Froyotech surrounded, but can they get the cleanup frags? They're not going to be able to do this. Froyotech is going to get out. Yams is going to escape with his life. No, just gets killed on the connector side there. Banny going down incredibly low. Moo is not going to be able to secure that frag. And this extended fight, Froyotech still looks to be in it.
Yeah, Habib just walking in, they gave him too much space. He gets a pipe off, but he gets traded. That's really big. Blaze in, gets Sai, gets bowed, and this fight is going in Froyo's favor, especially with the better spawners. And it looks like it's going to be even Ubers for the next bit. They're delaying cap for their spawners, and I don't know if they're going to opt for a forward hold. It does not look like it. Blaze getting the info, and now it's going to be mainly on Corsa, Zaylor, and Sai to try and get a good Uber exchange, maybe get behind, get some flank picks. Zaylor's walking up the slope, taking a bit of damage from Habib and Yomps, but Yomps overextends, gets picked. They're going to get onto the Moo. They get the trade, but there's a lot of people drawn out, and Ash gets overwhelmed on the flank by both scouts. And this is what I was saying. You can't get too aggro on the flank versus Froyo because they're just going to push that at any time in these even fights.
And they're doing such, I mean, it seems like they're winning that flank battle really consistently. But, you know, here we go. Uber coming in as the players are just getting back up. Right, they're trying to use that respawn advantage maybe as Yams is just barely getting to the front lines right now. Trade on either side. It's going to be a little bit better for Froyotech. But Banny actually going all the way in for Froyo and onto 4-4. He gets the frag. Zaylor's going to get taken out as well as Banny is carrying that push on his back, doing such a good job. Here comes in a bomb in by Ash. Takes down Banny. Corsa going for a sack as well. Everybody's going for Cookie Jake, but nobody is going to be able to secure it. And another hold coming out from Froyotech, but they're still down a minute and a half.
Yeah, they went for let's just Uber here, and you never want to have a let's just Uber because they pop so early and they don't get the force for the longest time, and the Uber's allowed to chase them all the way to Cliff. Banny isolating the med and Demo getting the 2 picks, but now they're going to take an even fight here. Uber's going to be up in a little bit for Froyo, but Smiley Face is going to take the cap while they're waiting for the Uber to come up. Sai in on the med, misses the rockets, and now they're down 2. Froyo pops the Uber in, and I think 4-4 should be able to get out. Actually, no scout speed. If a soldier bombs in here, they're going to push main, trying to get into spawn.
Banny. That
4-4 just
side
gets out.
door. Yeah, that side door was so... Oh, that was a little clinched right there, but 85%. This is really good for Smiley right now. As long as they can get out, as long as they can get a good Uber pop off here and use this to their advantage, they have that nice Uber advantage. They're going to try to catch up Blaze. They get him. He was trying to give intel for his team, but the only intel he's giving is I'm dead. And let's see how Smiley's going to push off with this. Yam's going in for that side. Everybody's going for air shot. Sai is able to land it as Banny's now trying to push in with Eric, the 2-scout flank going so hard. And now, oh, they drop another one. It's just Moo and 4-4, the only people left. That looks so good for Smiley. Banny's going to go down. Moo's the only one left alive, but can she do it? Onto Eric. Gets 2 shots onto Eric, but isn't able to land the finishing blow as Froyotech has continued to hold on to it. 50 seconds left.
Yeah, big heartbreaker there as they once again overextended to the flank fight. Yomps getting great damage on both soldiers, but Smiley still has to come in and try and get a force, hopefully for the next fight, which they do. And Ash getting a kill on the roamer and getting behind. This Uber's not getting that much, but they do get Sai, and it looks like Campy's dead. And 404, and that is a terrible loss right there. This is going to be on the salvage from Corsa and Sai, and they don't get anything. And it all stems from them fighting that flank. You can't be doing that. The scouts come in and clean up both soldiers. And now it looks like Froyo is going to get a forward hold, and this could be wraps because they need to get out as soon as possible. And Habib's doing a great job of locking out Cliff, killing Zayler, and no one can get to Cap. That one flank fight lost them this round.
And once again, Smiley go from the brink of winning to just a heartbreaking loss in back-to-back rounds as we finish up this first half here. Frick, my Nick, you've been sitting here on the sidelines. I mean, what is your feeling kind of watching this first half?
I think Froze, their ability to use their Ubers and their post fights have just been much cleaner than Smiley's. Like, Smiley did a really good job of keeping the Ubers out of the situation in the second round, and they were able to hold for a very, very long time. But as soon as the Ubers came into play, Froyo clawed back the entire, like, 2-minute advantage that they or 2-minute disadvantage, and came back to win the round. And the other thing, too, is I feel like Sai is kind of playing with Corsa and Zayler a little bit more, whereas Yomps is kind of helping that flank fight out. And every single time Smiley's flank tries to push anything, they're just getting fought by Yomps, Blaze, and Eric rather than just they're losing the 2v3 on the flank.
Yeah, the main problem is the more you play Froyo, the more you understand in even fights, and when it's slowing down, they're going to send 3 people to surprise all your flank while you're trying to push points. So you have to decide, do you want to fight the point with your 4v3 while they can kite, or are you going to help your flank out? And that's always a tough decision. A lot of times the best thing to do is just ignore that grass side and keep fighting with the combo.
Yeah, it's really interesting looking at the kill count and the damage numbers here. Froyotech sitting with about 8,000 more damage, a little bit under that. But those matches were so close. You know, they came down to literally seconds. I mean, obviously, the very tail end, we didn't see double overtime, but it just kind of speaks to the level of play. And you guys are, you know, talking about how the flank side. I mean, you know, Eric and Banny obviously going big here. I mean, Marbaloo, I mean, why are we seeing, you know, Eric and Banny sitting at the top of the table? Is it just from their flank play, or are they doing other things to kind of set themselves apart in this as we are getting set for this next round?
The main thing is they can't really get all the way to the scouts because the soldiers are doing so much damage, drawing the eyes. Habib's getting space, but a good thing that Smiley is doing is Zayler and Corsa have really good focus fire onto Habib, and we're containing him in the fights they were winning.
We'll see what they can do as we come out to this next fight. Froyotech up 2-0. This is a first of 4 as we get set up in for this third mid fight. And right now, it's not looking good for Smiley. He's lose too early on. Banny does go down, but once again, it is the flank of Froyotech taking control of Concrete, going for the massive flank play. Yams onto Zayler, but they're actually somehow holding on here. They're responding. They're actually getting it size also on the direct hit, which is not something I don't think you see too typically. As they're pushing back
both soldiers, though.
Yeah, it's working, and they're gonna win this mid. I thought they were gonna lose for sure after that Concrete loss in the wrapping, but they did a great job holding on to this.
Yeah, if Sai can't hit the D hits, the direct hits, this could be good, because if he's just sitting back and repelling bombers along with Corsa, this could be pretty rough for the soldiers to commit, unless they just commit on flank like they have been. And it looks like Froyo's trying to take it onto the point, getting a lot of damage and deterring Smiley from coming in. A lot of damage on Habib. They're going to get the force out. 4-4 in the skybox, and the Uber's going straight into the rest of the team while Corsa and 4-4 are stuck on the point. And that's 3 down, and this could be 4-4 dying if they chase him to spawn hard enough.
Yeah, Corsa's going to walk him back to spawn, so he at least keeps it with Well, I would say even Uber there. I mean, he's losing a few percentage there as his course is running away from him as the respawns are just getting back up for Smiley. But they did take at least about 40 seconds off the clock, so not too bad. But we can see Froyotech, this is, I think, the second time we've seen a forward hold out of them. Sai still on the DH.
Yeah, this is not... You need that splash damage to knock the people away, get on the men, and get a force. The Pyro coming in, but no one's coming behind. The main reason you want the Pyro is to make space for your soldiers. Ash is in, and both scouts come over to help their medic out, and this is going to be very, very bad if they keep doing this.
Yeah, I felt like a little bit of an awkward kind of suicide where you have the soldier going in over the top, but then Sai kind of steps out after he's already done. Now you got to really make sure you get those coordinations, or even to get the Pyro run out like they did. Looks like they're not able to get a lot of... Yeah, Mu is going to go down. They lose 2 here. Zayler as well. Mu last time was able to get some nice reflex. You know, she was doing a decent job at that, but this time it just seems like she's blowing back players, not able to kind of get that opening through that, you know, that mini crit damage.
The main thing is no one's coming behind the Pyro. They have even Ubers now, so you should be expecting an Uber here. Oh, there is Ash is coming behind. This is just going to take more and more time off the clock. If this spy play does not work, this could be terrible. Habib rolling over Mu, but I don't think they know.
Ash coming in big. Oh, what a pick. Taking down Cookie Jake. That's a drop right there. And now he's going to be back up in 7 seconds, and we'll see how Smiley wants to take this Uber advantage as he types in owned to check 404. He gets forced. Oh, Smiley.
They blew it.
Oh, disaster. I mean, they might get the point out of this, but still, that's not how you want to use your 100% advantage.
They keep taking it to the door, and Sai's not there to splash the corners and keep the soldiers away, so Corsa gets juggled in and insta-gibbed. Zayler tries to come and help, and it doesn't work out. And now the Ubers are basically even slight ad, and Sai's stuck on direct hit on offense, which isn't the greatest, and now pushing the flank once again, both soldiers, and Corsa dies to stickies from Habib. And this is just all in Froyo's hands, and they're just playing into it. Once again, jumping Ash. Ash is committing too hard, takes a lot of damage, and it's just stalling out the time, and you need the clock on your side. Sai dying from spam, and this is just more and more time they have to wait for spawners if they keep bleeding players like this.
They are at a very slight advantage, probably not anything noteworthy, not really trying to build it right now to be able to make it a little bit better. I don't know if they, because I feel like they might have been able to do this here. They come up to 100%. Corsa walking in with Zayler, trying to get across the point, but it's going to be actually just a quick exchange. Actually, Corsa's going back onto Habib. Ubercharge is going onto the flank of Smiley as they're forced to rotate back, try to keep everybody alive. They haven't lost anybody yet. Ash going down to 1 HP, 4 forward, so incredibly low, dodges the rockets, but cannot dodge. I don't actually dodge the ground is what he took him out eventually. And looks like 3 players down for Smiley. Make that 4, and this is looking to be a clean round here for Froyotech.
Yeah, the main things that Froyo adapted to in the half is they're doing so much more with the Uber. They take the Ubers and they immediately run to the other team's flank while Corsa's alone trying to shoot people on the other team's cliff, and no one's there to get killed there. And the Ubers are getting 1 or 2 picks on Froyo's side, and the fight's basically over after that.
So we'll see if Smiley can do anything from here. They've shown some good resilience in the first 2 rounds. That last round was not the greatest. Zayler is going to go down early on here, make that 2 as Mu gets taken out. Ash jumping in, trying to find something. He gets Habib down pretty low. Habib's probably going to get traded out there for Corsa. Times 4 onto the point. Froyotech is going to be very convincing in that early fight here, but with Ash, or Sai, sorry, still alive on Cliff, trying to not let them get any sort of forward hold up.
Yeah, they're just changing the pace every
Cookie
mid.
Jake! Sai! What?
How?
That was a cross map direct hit takes him down. Unbelievable play. That direct hit coming in huge, and Smiley's walking across the point.
Yeah, that was insane. I don't know how that happened. Corsa or Mu gets traded for Eric, and Banny's behind. No scouts up. This is all on Sai. Sai jumps Habib and gets killed. And now it's just Zayler trying to kill the scout, and you hate to see it. He has to hit 2 pipes, and he gets cleaned up, hitting 1 in the end. But huge Uberat off that big play from Sai across the map. I don't know how, but he did it. And now Corsa's getting really aggro, but if they get too aggressive, this trap could maybe kill him, or soldiers bombing if they show too much. And now both soldiers in, they get the force off early, and both soldiers should be able to get away.
They're so low though. Yeah, Blaze is going to be able to get out just in time, but they're picking off the players because Cookie Jake was so focused on getting Blaze above that 10 HP that he was. And that was a really nice push out though. Cookie Jake does get out alive, so now Froyotech sitting with about a 50% advantage.
opting for this forward hold, but you don't have one spam to be able to lock down the store. It's all on Ash to lock down these doors, unless Sai hits really good direct hits, which is a lot harder than shooting the floor.
Yeah, it definitely is, but Froyotech... Oh, actually, he gets Danny early on here. Here comes in the bomb in from Yamps. Blaze goes down. Nice job there on his side, hitting that direct hit. Yamps going down incredibly low in this fight, 4v4, as they're trying to work up through concrete altogether. Sai on that concrete side, getting blasted back. As Cookie Jake still holding on to that 100%. Smiley slowly getting a little bit closer, 80% now, as they're going to be able to hold on to this, but Cookie Jake is not going to get forced to take back this point.
Yeah, so good shots from Sai, but they ended up trading out well, and they got enough space because no one was holding that door, and they got through trading those two players, and the flank fight is coming out, and it looks like it's almost in favor of Smiley, but their flank is entirely weak during the super exchange, and this could be really bad if no one can come in to help Corson, Zayler. Fight's going to kind of stall out, and Smiley's going to take the point because Habib is dead.
Yeah, Froyotech had a couple players pretty low. That was unfortunate. I don't think Smiley knew. Like, there was Blaze on the concrete side, who I think they potentially had a chance at, who was down to about 20 HP, was able to get out with his life and get a med pack. But they're going to come back. This is the most back and forth round we've seen so far. And this is, again, match point for Froyotech. Smiley has to win out if they're going to win this map, and this is their map pick. With so many rounds so close, you got to imagine this is definitely one they want to come down with, as Habib is walking up here trying to create some space for his team, as Zayler's standing on the point trying to do his best to deny it.
Yeah, so they're trying to do damage to B, but 4-4 taking a lot of damage. Ash dying from spam across the map. Eric through the connector. They're going to take a trade in. Uber's a bit better for Froyo. They get Eric and Blaze. If Campy dies here, they need to get another frag.
Cookie Jake!
In return, good job. But Banny's behind, and he should be able to clean up this med pick. He does. Banny in, and Banny could get 4 kills here.
He's trying. There's 2 scouts dancing on the point. It's just one left alive, and he is ultimately going to go down. Here comes an Ash very late. Gets air shot by Yamps, goes all the way back, and is going to get cratered out. And, yeah, it seems like they had a chance. So they took down Cookie Jake, but as you said, Banny just going so huge in that fight. Currently on a 4K, as you mentioned.
They turn into a forward hold. Ash is on. Nope, switched back to Soldier. They get Blaze overextended with Campy. Zayler coming out. And Sai hitting the damage. They're going to get out through grass really easily. No pyro required. And even Ubers. A lot of damage on the side of Froyo. Yomps getting cleaned up by Ash. Now they're going to take the point. It's all on Habib to do a bunch of damage here. And 2 pipes, 404. Gets killed in return. And Cookie Jake should die. But good job from Habib, at least getting the med and evening out the Ubers.
Yeah, it was a really nice job there, Smiley face. Sai went in and did a bomb onto Ban. That's some balls right there. You're going into a 1v1 against this guy with a direct head. I don't know about you, but that doesn't feel like an advantageous position. But he did it. He jumped in on a Banny with full HP, and I think he did 1-2 rockets, took him down, and did not allow him to survive. They're currently on the advantage. I mean, they have even Ubers. They're holding on to the point.
Sniper. This though, he's not going to kill anybody until they commit. Soldiers both jumping in, pushing the team back, and this is all enough cycle that Ash can hit a shot here. He's not hitting anything in 4-4 and Corsa dying to the pipes behind the rock, and fight's over.
Moo might be able to get at least one more frag here. Banny chasing around trying to go for Sai or Ash. Ash looking for a miracle frag, but he is not going to find anything but death. And in the bottom of that house, Sai is the last one alive with that DH, but at least preventing Froyotech from being able to get that forward hold on Valley side, as they have 40 seconds. They are down Uber advantage, though, as they start to push out to the point.
Oh, Yomps is on heavy, but they're going to come in. Uber advantage for Froyo, and 4-4 needs to get out here. Zayler dying, and this is not good, especially with a heavy here. They can just sit him on the point, and Habib is rolling over people. They did not have to commit there. Those are really bad deaths, and now they can try and turn it into a forward hold, although Habib's dead. But now they have to push point, which I don't think they can get here in time with heals. That last fight was a losing play right there. Now they have to try and get on the point with a fully buffed heavy right on top of it. They get some cap time. Ash is in, gets cleaned up alone, and they're trying to get on this heavy, and all the spam. Focus fire, perfect. That last fight was not a good one.
Yeah, it always seems like, with Smileys, they're just right there. They're right on that edge, but just not able to take enough clinical fights in their favor. Frick, my Nick, you've been sitting here on the side. I mean, yeah, what are your thoughts coming in as Froyotech? I mean, it's a very tight game, but Froyotech still takes it 4-0 inside of this first map.
Yeah, a lot of what was happening in the first half, just again, Froyo's ability to negotiate like the Uber exchanges, specifically the posts once again, were really, really good for them. I think 1-to-1, a lot of the people on Smiley were doing about as much as their counterparts. With the exception, I think, of Psy versus Yomps. I mean, Psy on the DH had a couple miracle moments, but versus the consistency that you got out of Yomps, and especially with Yomps helping out his flank so much in general, I think Yomps just did a lot more versus Psy. And interestingly, we only saw a couple Lives of Sniper from Ash, but he didn't get a single kill both times he ran it, both in the first and second half. So I was correct in the fact that we might see some sniper play, but they didn't get a single kill when they ran it.
Yeah, I mean, Ash only came down with 3 frags in total in that entire game. So just, not good enough coming out there. But I mean, moving over to Gullywash, I just want to explain something really quick. People are asking about what the default win is. So inside of, we are doing a double elimination playoff run, but we are not doing a bracket reset. So this is the only match. If Smiley wins today, they win. They don't have to beat Froyotech on a second day. But the advantage then, because Froyotech has not lost in playoffs, is they get one free round or free map win inside of this best of 5 series. So Froyotech, they only need to win 2 maps in order to win the best of 5. Smiley, they need to win 3. So this is match or map point, whatever you want to call it, championship point coming here on Gullywash. But obviously just a tough game. I mean, any kind of final thoughts you want to toss out, Marmaloo, before we switch over to kind of looking at Gullywash?
Yeah, I don't know. Froyo was just overwhelming them. Every single Uber exchange, they get a better Uber off, they get in deeper. And how it was working in the first half is whoever had the point usually had a way better Uber and did win the Uber exchange, but Smiley never really getting full control of the map at any point in time. And Psy on the D hit, you can't do that unless you're hitting everything, which he hit a lot. And Ash having a rough game. There was never any moment for him to get into it, really. He didn't do any flank plays with his team. It was a lot more sitting around and getting attacked, and hopefully people trade him out. But yeah, the main thing you want to see on this map is, once again, you got to keep Habib under control. This mid can be heavily influenced if you don't get pressure on that demo and keep him in check.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's kind of interesting, if you look at the stat lines of just like, who's cleaning up kills and stuff like that, you have Yomps next to, who is it? Yomps and the Smile, or there's like 2 players basically. I think that's Moo, who had the same amount of damage, each took 7,400 damage, but Yomps died 8 less times. There's about 33% more deaths for Moo in that game. It just seems like, there's a lot of, decent amount of damage coming out from, Smiley, obviously not as much as Froyotech, but they were just doing such a good job at, just punishing and jumping in those flanks. But, Frick, my Nick, and Marmaloo, you guys are being taken over here for Gullywash when we get started. Frick, my Nick, what can we expect to see out of these teams coming into Gullywash? I mean, obviously, Froyotech, they're known to be such good 5. And everything they do is freaking phenomenal. But what can we see? Expect to see, for a matchup in this game? With Froyotech and the Smiley.
Specifically on Gullywash, you're going to see really aggressive mids coming out of Froyo. Having scrimmed them a few times in my experience, you're going to see Habib really aggressive every single mid, trying to get damage on your med and big door before you can even walk up. There's a fair few amount of times that he'll get med picks before like a medic can even get to the doorway to walk up elbow. And you're going to see both the soldiers bombing deep, trying to follow up on all that early damage that Habib does. It's going to be super crucial for Smiley to find early damage on either Habib or shut down the soldiers before they can get across.
Yeah, so they instantly, the red already readies up, and yeah, they need to have a soldier or a scout run at Habib every mid, or at least show him that they can kill him. Recently, what Froyo's soldiers have been doing, and when I played them recently, is both soldiers, they high bomb and land on the floor and try and kill your roamer. So if Ash gets caught out, that could be really bad and be a replay of last map. And we're going to be starting here. You can take away the first mid.
Yeah, so we're going to see both teams rolling out here. See, looks like both demos are going to be going choke from their perspectives. Yeah, both demos are going to go choke. Looks like they're arriving at the same time. Both demos trying to spam their big door early. Got Blaze playing on the floor early from his side, trying to spam the med. Psy is still on the direct hit. Both teams are taking their side, but this looks 4-4 is not even able to make it up on his side. All of Froyo's flank is going to just catch him in the big door. Smiley's going to reconvene on their side, and they're going to try and find a pick on Cookie Jake, but it looks like this mid's over before it even started.
Actually, 2 players on Froyo behind. This could go in the favor. If Ash can get on Cookie and get a clean kill, this could be saved. And he's having a rough time. Cookie hitting so many arrows, but too much time. And that mid was really strange. Corsa not waiting to get 4-4 up, and with the medic up and the spawners coming in, Smiley could retake mid as long as Ash can delay for long enough.
Yeah, they
And
do have an opportunity to refight mid here. Their heals are going to get there first. Froyo is going to cap up the point, though, so I think with their forward spawn, it's going to be a rough fight for them. And yeah, Habib's already looking at their team at big door, so it wouldn't surprise me if they just called it off. And about a 20% Uber ed here for 404. It's not really pushable into Gully mid. Gully mid's pretty difficult to push on a small Uber ed. So we're just going to probably see the classic Gullywash stalemate.
And at some point, they are going to turn around. Froyo, that is going to turn around and try and deal with Ash, because him being behind is going to be really annoying if you start pushing. And both scouts chasing Ash getting back, drawing some eyes, and hopefully trying to get his team in. He has 2 people all the way back. Eric with the winger jumps up, and looks like he should be able to win this, but Ash doing a good job of chipping him, and it's going to be another getting health back up and going back to kill Ash.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed from Smiley. I don't know if they know if Cookie Jake was alone or something, but I'm surprised they didn't try and go off that ad knowing that Ash was behind and creating so much pressure, especially if they knew both scouts were behind or coming back to chase Ash. But looks like the Ubers are going to even out. Ash is still just behind, so he's just biding his time. He's going to get hopefully caught. Oh, he's going to make it out up there. Okay, they have a soldier chasing him now, denying him the health back. So
He
he's just
got
jumping around.
blindsided by Eric, who is hiding behind Rock. Like, who does that? He's crazy. And it looks like Froyo's going to drop down to big door, try and get a couple players behind, cause some chaos, and try and get the Uber out.
Yeah,
on
the
the
classic
side of
Froyo
Smiley.
play. They're going to take their heals in big door, just kind of play in big door, run a player behind through the lower door, let him play in lobby behind, look for something in upper. It looks like Blaze and Eric are behind here for Froyo. They are going to meet the spawner of Ash, though, so be interesting to see if Ash can make anything happen. It looks like he's just delaying in spawn on heavy, so I think he knows that the players are behind. He doesn't know what to do about it.
Yeah, he was suspicious. Eric was hiding in water, just waiting to get on him again if he instantly rushed river and tried to help. Now he's just trying to walk out on heavy, taking a lot of damage, but they do get a heavy out, and if they get him on high ground, this could actually be very good if they just bunker on the second point. It's going to be all on getting the damage on this heavy and spamming from a lot of directions.
Yeah, and Yomps is actually on the conch. Yeah, he's on the concher, so it'd be interesting to see if Froyo can make something happen with that. I think this is the first time I've seen Froyo run any sort of banner, so...
If you
Maybe
don't
breaking
know
up.
anybody, the Conjurer, as you have to get, I think, about 600 damage, and when you get it, when you pop it, it gives you speed equivalent to getting whipped, and lifesteal, health regen. I think 60% or 40% of the damage you do, you get back, and it's really good for running through doors really quickly and taking fights without Uber or post Ubers and making them in your favor.
Yeah, Eric and Blaze are still behind, by the way. They're just sitting in upper, like, kind of playing the health back, playing the chip game, but Moo and Sai are actually going to challenge him in the upper. Eric's going to win the Venom going against Moo, but Sai was able to get enough damage onto Eric, and it looks like Pandy's going to come in and clean up Sai, as 2 down here should be push territory for Froyotech.
And now the Ubers are going to be coming in any second now. Zayler taking a lot of damage. Corsa getting a little bit over aggro. They get the trade-off. Now there's a heavy for the post, but with the Ubers still here, we're going to have to put it back onto the heavy. The conch being popped through choke all 4 players. If Zayler can lock this out, and he does so much damage, gets cleaned up in the end, but this heavy should be able to clutch it out as long as he does get focus spark, which he is. Shot it very well. 1 HP about. Gets cleaned up in this fight. Is really scrappy, and it's all on course of this inside. A kill Blaze. Blaze does get cleaned up in the end. Really good job from Zayler, recognizing, hearing the conch, watching them. They walk back to choke, killing the med and getting about 100 damage on both soldiers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he only got about 4 stickies off before he died, but he did so much damage that even with the conch, Froyo struggled to try and take that fight. It looks like they're going to hold on to mid, our Froyotech, even though Smiley had a couple players up. Sai is actually going to pick Habib, so that's actually a potential for Smiley to try and push into mid with that demo pick. Bandy's going to challenge Sai in the choke. Nice 3 shots to take him down. Bandy's going to 2-shot Zayler as well. Bandy coming up huge in the choke points. What was push territory for Smiley is now push territory for Froyo, and they're going to catch out 4-4 on the point. Everybody's going down. They're going to crater Blaze, but that's all they're going to get.
It all started off with Corsa getting 2 sticky over the point, and all goes south from there. They overextend a little bit. The flank gets through big door, and they just bomb through choke, and 4-4 can't get out above the point. With a 50% ad, they're going to be poking, making sure no off-class can get up. And you're going to most likely see a lot of point play here if they can't get any frags. Guns up on the left side. No pyro to stop the rockets from coming in. And Uber's about to be up. The pyro is up now. This gun's very passive. And they're just going to have to hope this gun can stall the Uber long enough for them not to get wiped by that.
Yeah, and it looks like Froyo's going to opt to go Riverside. Pretty standard push here into Gullywash last. They're going to bomb Habib in. They're going to try and take down this gun early. They have the pyro trying to reflect all the stickies and everything. They aren't going to get the gun with this Uber. They find actually nothing with it. And so Cookie Jake down to about 50 health. And main Cookie Jake's going to die. The first death of this push is Cookie Jake. That's not what you want to see for Froyotech. And it looks like Smiley's going to easily hold their last here.
Yeah, Corsa actually picked up the gun and then moved to the other spawn door and put it back down so it didn't die. And one thing you gotta worry about when you're playing against Froyo is the back cap. If they don't cover the doors right, they could easily get back capped with the super ad. And I don't think anyone's behind. Nope, they're all in front. They're gonna be pressuring it out, getting Blaze really weak, but the shutter's still locked down. Entirety of Smiley coming from top. The conch coming out from Yomps, holding it still. Both scouts commit off the high ground, and it looks like Banny and Yomps are going to last. Run through the Zayla trap, and this is the round.
Yeah, Zayla was able to hold off Yomps, but Banny ran behind him. They pressured both of the shutter doors. They had their entire team trying to push with the conch through the actual shutter doors, and Zayla was not able to hold both at the same time. They were able to kill Sai, and Banny just ran to last.
Yeah, like I said, the back cap, they're always going to go for it because you just win the round. I want to see what Zayler does this mid. I think he needs to do so much for them to be able to win this mid. And it looks like he gets pressured for drop, and now he has no damage on big door. Ash, very weak on floor, gets cleaned up. And this is really bad. Unless Smiley can get something going early, this could be really bad. A lot of damage onto Zayler, and they're just pressuring across the point. And it looks like good job by the remaining people on Smiley to stop everybody going for their meds. So 4-4 is going to live and get out. But they're not going to have these players with the late spawners to fight second, and it's going to be another last stalemate, but this time with even Ubers.
Yeah, I would say Froyo kind of just won that mid before it even started. They found so much damage just early on Zayler, and specifically that Habib was able to put out so much more damage that the differential of health was just too good for Froyo. And we are going to likely see a sack here from Froyo into last, trying to get the Uber out of 404.
Yep, so the patented pressure cooker, they're going to peek every door at the same time with a scout going water. If you don't handle it right and you drop a player, it's going to be so much better. See, a soldier's already in water. They're going to turn into a sack most likely. Try and get this gun down first. Blaze waiting for Eric, the flank partner, to come in here. This is looking bad. Moo getting really weak. And they have to be able to deal with this water pressure. This gun doesn't really cover anything near there. And they have 3 people in water now. I don't think that's on purpose, but they're just waiting around.
Yeah, I think they're trying to deal with the gun before they send a player, and it's really hard to sack into a sentry gun, so I think they're doing the wise thing of trying to take down the sentry, but it looks like Habib alone is the only person trying to spam it, so they're struggling quite a bit. Ash is going to walk into water. He's going to find a nice 2 rockets onto Blaze. Blaze is going to return those 2 rockets, and Eric's going to win the 1v1 against the Pyro, but the afterburn damage is going to trade it out 2 for 2, so both flanks losing their lives here, as this is an opportunity for Froyo to try and send another sack. They might try to sack Yomps, or even take an exchange here.
I don't think they saw Banny. Banny's going to get a lot of cap time. If Sai can't one-shot, and Banny just sneaks into water and gets the cap. They're not paying enough attention to that, and really bad there. This time, you know what? I want to see Ash. Hopefully Ash can deal with the pressure, either commit on the demo or just live. Because what I think is going to happen, he's going to go to the floor and he's going to get double bombs, and he's instantly pressuring drop, actually committing to it. But Habib destroying his mid, and you can't commit if it's that telegraphed. Eric getting traded out, and it looks like they were trying to do a right side mid, but no one else could get in, especially with a D-hit soldier who's waiting for people to bomb. That's not a good recipe for trying to get up on the right side.
Yeah, I was going to say, Smiley just never found any positioning on the right side. They were all just stuck in the doorway there. Nobody got onto the high ground, and Froyo just spammed him out. At least they recognized that they had lost that mid very early and they got out, so they are going to be able to hold onto their second here. As Eric's going to spawn Sniper and Ash is going to spawn Spy.
This is what you'd like to see, and it's just a tick. It's just a clock here. Who's gonna get the pick first? Eric's got a couple shots before Ash is going to be able to get in here. Banny baiting people with the taunt. That sticky almost. Ash has snuck in. If no one walks against this wall, he could get a good decloak.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody has is able to listen for him because they're so close. Habib's actually walking into him. They have no idea. Habib continued to walk into him there. Ash is gonna find his way into mid, but they know.
He walked out when Bandage jumped over. This no shit. Goes by. You're not going to do much unless people get very distracted and you don't go for a conventional pick like a med demo.
Yeah, and it looks like Ash is going to make his way out. He's just going to make the walk of shame back to last as Froyo continues trying to make angles here for Eric to take pot shots. As we just see Eric sitting in the big door on a carpet of stickies from Habib. Sai peeked up there, saw him, and has decided to not peek him. Not a single person has decided to peek Eric since he's posted up in this big door. They just had the collusion of the spy, and then after that, they've just been hanging out in big door.
Ash is on heavy again. This is something else.
Yeah, and it looks like Zaylor and Corsa got aggressive in the choke. They forced Blaze to back up, but they aren't really going to find a whole lot as Froyo's going to just rotate back to choke. Eric, again, just sitting in that big door, making it so nobody can peek through.
Yeah, eventually Eric, they're going to try and do something eventually, but they're just content with sitting around. Now it looks like they're going to rotate most of their players to big door, and going to be on Eric hitting a good shot here.
Yeah, and Zaylor's traps are dead, so they have the potential to try and run somebody in behind. It looks like Blaze is going to go behind. He's actually going to beat the scout of Moo. Moo's going to find a ton of damage into Blaze as they're going to trade off some damage. Blaze is going to back up here. Ash just sitting in the upper. Bandy's going to run into lobby and take down Moo. So Bandy is now behind. We'll see if they're able to find anything. Zaylor doing his best to try and lock them out in the big door area. Eric just taking, but they're going to take an exchange. Course is going to Uber in here, going to take down Eric. Cookie Jake's going to get a slightly better Uber here with all the flashing, though. Ubers are going to end roughly about the same time. Slightly better for Froyotech as Smiley tries to hold their own big door.
The Contra coming in, Banny from behind, kills Corsa, and the entirety of the combo from Smiley is caught. It's all on Ash. If you can tank all this damage, which you can't, Sai in on the med, doesn't hit the shots, and now it's on Moo to try and get some salvage, which she does. She gets Yomps. Dueling Banny, getting a lot of damage off. 4-4 does get out from the Space Maid, but too soon. Corsa getting a kill, but Banny 185 killing the people.
Yeah, and again, Froyo continues to negotiate these dupers so much better than Smiley Face. It looks really close in the beginning, but as soon as they get the ball rolling, Froyo is able to just snowball whatever advantage that they have into just anything else. And once again, Smiley's going to be on their last here, and Cookie Jake's got a massive Uber advantage.
The gun is going to be level 1. It's not going to be that great here, and you're probably going to see a similar Uber with Habib leading, bombing through, trying to get as much space done. Sai committing to the shutter. He's going to get caught, and that's a big opening pick. They're going to go through the shutter with the pyro and the gun, stalling Habib pretty well. Corsa should get cleaned up as well, and that's going to be 2 picks. But Ash, good drop-off, killing Habib. Ash drawing a lot of eyes if they can deal with this well enough, but Zaylor getting shot from the side, gets a pick onto Cookie, and they do it. They hold him off.
Yeah, Smiley's doing a really good job of making sure Froyo doesn't get anything with these Ubers. They got the gun with that Uber and a little bit of positioning, but they were instantly able to re-push them on the top left side and make it so they really didn't have that much space. And once again, Smiley's going to be able to hold on to this as they're going to be able to push out. And 4-4's got about a 75% Uber red here to work with on top of the player red.
Get through, and once again, you got to worry about the flank push. Sai's back on a rocket launcher. Got to get hyped for that. And they're all at choke right now. Eric's already hiding in big door. If Ash is alone, Ash could easily get picked. They see Eric gets Ash, and Moo gets the cleanup, which is really big. They pop in. Yomps holding down the conch. And they end up trying to re-push here, getting destroyed by Zaylor. Zaylor is going to stall out the rest of this conch, and will be no more. Side jumping up drop, getting Yomps. And that's a really big 2 projectile pick if they can get through choke. But Corsa overextending. And that's going to make this fight a lot worse. A scout down, a good rocket off onto Moo. But Banny overextending as well. They're going to pop in with the super. 4-4 should be able to get out if they juggle well enough. Zaylor gets cleaned up, and really good counter Uber. And it's going to be a leapfrog situation. Back and forth, but Zaylor's not going to be up for this next fight.
Yeah, Zaylor found a ton of damage into big door. Froyo popped the Uber about as soon as they got it. It was almost a catastrophe there. Eric was down to about 40 health when they popped it off. But they were able to pop it, and they were able to find all of the projectile classes on the side of Smiley. And now Smiley's going to have the Uber. They're just going to use through the choke. They're looking for anything, but it doesn't look like a single player on Froyotech is going to get caught with this. They're actually going to find Cookie Jake. Cookie Jake down to about 65 HP. Course is going to surf in from the choke and take him down. Ash and 404 are going to go down on the other side of things. They're going to trade out for Blaze, and it's just going to be an all-out DM fight as the players wrap in and out of choke, as it looks like they're on mid are a lot of Smiley Face trying to get this cap. Eric's going to pick up Zaylor there, as Sai and Moo are going to follow, and Froyo wins out this DM fight on just slivers of HP.
Yeah, Froyo having 4 people in that fight, and Smiley had 3. Habib got through drop, did enough damage for everybody to clean up, and once again, a similar position. They're stuck on their last even Ubers, and they need to be able to handle this. They can't really send people into water, because if they get a trade off, that's a 4 people holding last, and that's always good for the offense.
Yeah, and we aren't gonna see any off classes for the side. Oh, they are gonna get the engineer on the left side, but Furyo is doing their darndest to try and spam it down as Moo tries to build up the sentry gun. As those 2, they're finally gonna get a soldier to pressure them on the riverside here. As we are just gonna see pretty standard last hold. We're gonna see the pyro and the engineer for Smiley Face as they try and move the gun, but Furyo is gonna pop in. They're actually gonna lose. They're gonna pick onto Ash really early here, but 404 is gonna get a much better Uber. Habib's gonna die on the other side of things though, so that's a positive trade. Course is going to be fighting Yomps in the riverside, but Bane is going to come and help him out, and Course is going to go down. So this is a player ad here for Froyotech. Blaze is going to get on the point, but get cleaned up by Sai, and Sai is going to 2-shot Baney onto the point. Really good from Sai with the shotgun there, as it looks like Froyo is going to have to back off here.
Yeah, almost Blaze hitting that direct on 4-4, almost netted in a med pick, but Banny just didn't hit enough damage, and most likely going to reset again. And Corsa is on Spy this time, and he's going out with his little unusual.
Yeah, Froyo has about a 10% advantage. They should be aware, because they did pop much later on the side of Smiley Face, so it's potentially pushable. It's more pushable than their last ad, which was non-existent, and it looks like we're going to see the engineer once again, but nobody's pressuring Froyo on the riverside really hard, as they actually are going to get the gun behind the point. So with no gun and about a 20% disad, this is potential push territory for Froyotech, but it doesn't look like they're going to go off it. They're going to spam down the sentry once again, but they are going to use through about 5% away for 404. It's at 95. They are going to pick off Zaylor on the floor though really early, but 404 is going to get it full a better Uber here as Froyo tries to retreat through the rivers. And Course is going to backstab Cookie Jake before he can make his way out.
Oh my, Eric spotted him as well. Yeah, they're all inning for the med. And 404 gets into spawn. Corsa getting another pick with the revolver, and
but Habib
is in
water.
water. There's already sticks on
They have
point,
no
and no
idea.
one's close enough. Scout has to drop onto it. Habib deaths too early. And mistake from Habib there. If he held those stickies for a second more, he could have won the round. And the Spy actually getting spotted by Eric, and then Cookie just Ubers the Spy and gets backstabbed by the person who's healing. I didn't see if he got an assist on his own death, but I'm assuming he did.
So we are going to see 404 with about a 25% Uber ad after that disaster of a push from Froyotech. Froyo is going to be holding on to mid here, and we might end up in another leapfrog scenario with the team is bouncing back and forth on these small ads. As it looks like both teams are just going to be building up their Ubers.
Yeah, I think if they want to pop in early, they should just demo bomb from Big Door. It's a lot faster. You don't have to deal with all the juggle of choke, and I don't think anyone's spotting it that deep, and they can get a lot better of a surprise here. And it looks like
It doesn't even look like they're going to go.
No, they're keeping the stalemate. I don't think Forrest was confident in how well he was building, and Froyo was already in Big Door, sent the 2 people behind. Good job by Smiley recognizing not keeping the Roma in lobby to be a free pick, but Moo overextending top. You can't commit there. Gets out with her life, but they're just going to get pressured from all 3 doors. Constantly, Smiley taking an Uber straight in onto Froyo. They're getting about even flashes, but the Uber's a bit better for Froyo. They're going to get Ash. And 4-4's getting shot by everybody.
Yeah, but they
Habib
get
getting
Habib.
picked. Oh. Course is in trying to get the post fight, and Banny's last one alive should be able to get Corsa and 3v2, but Banny's committing for the back cap here.
Yeah, it was an all-out DM fight on the point there, and it looks like Smiley Face is going to win now. They do have spawn advantage on this point. 404 is going to arrow Cookie Jake, taking down his opposing medic, so it's going to be Uber out here for 404. It'd be interesting to see if Froyo tries to all-in on mid here, as they are going to get a haphazard spam battle. Going to spam them. Smiley's going to take their own side. They're just going to be trying to walk up. Cookie Jake still hasn't spawned yet, but 404 is going to go down. 404 is going to die. Everybody all-inning on Froyotech. Yomps and Habib are the only 2 alive, and it's just Ash on the other side of things.
Yeah, Eric did a really good job of drawing all the eyes into Big Door, allowing Banny and Yomps to jump in and clean up the rest of the players, and 4-4 just getting destroyed in the elbow. Ash should die here, and this should be a good point for Froyo. But Ash is taking a lot of time. Lives barely.
Yeah, did a really good job of delaying maybe a potential for his team to try and push out here. So they're getting aggressive in the upper area is Smiley, but they think they're going to concede to the double soldier spam as Froyo gets all the positioning on the point here.
But Smiley's sending 3 people lobby, and that's an instant shutdown. Habib had sticks on the main shutter and not getting through there clean. Zaylor dying, that's huge. You're going to see people go into water, and they're going to keep pressuring every door without the demo to lock down these choke points. They're peeking the shutter with Habib, Soldier Scout in water. I don't think they know. Ash is jumping on it. Should get cleaned up by the 2 players. Ash doing a really good job, but Blaze gets the pick. They get a gun down and getting people pulled down the point. This is going to be in Froyo's favor with Zaylor just spawning. Not going to be there in time.
Yeah, and that was really unfortunate. 404 was on 95% there. He almost was able to get that Uber, and they had about a 20% ad, but Froyo's going to end the half here 3-0 with 404 not able to get that Uber charge.
Let me open up the stats right here real quick. Oh, Campy did a lot of damage, you know?
Doesn't even look like we have time for that. Both teams have instantly readied up.
Instant.
So. Looks like Smiley's doing what they did in the upper bracket. They're just readying up. They're showing no signs of fear. And be interested to see if Sai switches back to the direct hit, as we are going to be going into our 4th mid here. Looks like both demos have gone choke. Yeah, both demos have gone choke. Habib a little faster. Looks like Ash is going to be high bombing as well as Moog trying to get some early damage here. Cookie Jake's going to be the first death on the mid. Ash is just going to land on him and kill him before he can get in. And it's going to be 3 down on either side. 404 is going to go down. It's going to be Zaylor and Sai versus Eric, Blaze, and Habib. They're going to beat up on their side, our Sai and Zaylor. They're going to find some decent damage onto the scout, but Habib's going to be just picking spam across the point. Blaze is going to re-bomb as well, and they're going to trade out. Habib's going to sign down Sai. Blaze is going to take down Zaylor, and it's going to be a mid win here for Froyotech.
Yeah, so Zaylor really focusing the big door, and Ash hard committed there. And Sai had a really good counter bomb back into the elbow, but people died everywhere else. Blaze going above the big door on the ramp, surfing on it, and he's going to do enough damage to stop the push from Smiley.
Yeah, and even Ubers once again here, so I think we're just going to go back to the mid hold for Froyotech and the second hold here for Smiley. And once again, be hard to not see that Froyo's going to just take their heels into big door and run 2 players in lobby behind. It's been working well for them all game.
Noms jumping through choke, 2 rocketing 4-4, and they changed the pace so well, instantly jumping through in the stalemate, not waiting for Uber. Blaze is doing a really good job of stalling, and everyone's going to get through choke very clean. And Zaylor left alone. Habib kills him, Ash in alone. He messes up his jump and gets air stickied. And that should be a round right there, unless some miracle play or disaster from the side of Froyo happens. I don't see anything happening besides the round win.
Yeah, Yom bombed through and found 2 entry frags. We're going to see the Uber into last here. Cookie Jake's going to pop it off. They're going to be chasing the Pyro in the secret area. Of course, it's just going to be reflecting Banny around the corner. They are actually going to get their spawns on the side of Smiley, but they're going to have to get through the stickies of Habib. Of course, is instantly going to go down. They're going to trade out for Banny. Moo's going to die as well, so 2 down on the side of Smiley. Eric's going to take down Sai on the point, but it's going to get piped down by Zaylor. Ash is going to take down Habib. Yomps and Blaze are going to come in, though. Cookie Jake's going to die to a pipe, but Froyotech is going to win this, just their soldiers up, and it's going to be 4-0 for them.
Yeah, that Pyro did a very, very good job of stalling the Uber and almost gave them a chance, and they just lost barely. I think 100 health combined by the soldiers, and you know what? I want to see what Blaze does, because Smiley has not been getting into these mids, which you hate to see. Blaze looking to do a high bomb here. Gonna jump in onto the med. Big door, good damage from Habib. Doesn't actually connect any rockets, but both soldiers committing and not even killing the med. Eric's gonna commit in the end for the med, but that should have been such an easy med pick, and they end up not getting it. Eric winning a 1v1, and it's gonna be a 1v4. Don't think Eric can win this. It's not usually in his favor in a 1v4, but you never know.
Yeah, I was going to say, in 4-4 with some excellent movement, was able to juke out both the soldiers. Eric ended up having to come in on the floor to clean him up, and Faru kind of all in for that med pick, and it didn't really pay off for them. So Smiley's going to win their first mid of Gullywash, as it looks like they're finally going to get themselves into Gully. As Sai's going to go down to Habib on the other side of things. I don't know if he was behind. Eric's going to run into mid and 2-shot move. And going to find Zaylor. He's going to trade out with Zaylor after the self-damage from the pipes, even though Zaylor hit 2 nice pipes to kill him. As we are just going to see Froyo instantly taking back mid.
Both scouts from Froyo, Banny dealing with Sai, and Eric getting a great 2k on the flank. Both soldiers committing. And with Cookie getting traded out by Ash, that's really big. As long as 4-4 can get out, they can maybe re-push back in. But Yomps gets a really good bomb. Doesn't connect the second rocket, and now They should have about 60, 70 ad to try and get out of last tier as long as Froyo, once again, don't backcap, which can't count him out of.
Yeah, as we are going to see Cookie Jake finally spawning up, and Smiley's going to get their flank spawns here. Froyo's just playing super passive on there too as they wait for their heals to come in, and Smiley's just relegated to their last. Bandy's already sitting in the water area, waiting for somebody to have some sort of cheeky peek here. As it looks like Smiley's going to get aggressive. Zayla's going to spot out Bandy in the water area early. As it looks like they're gearing up around the shutter side, as they're going to rotate up top, hopefully here. Try and push off that high ground as Bandy's just sitting in the big door. Habib just resticking the shutter as they try and clear the sticky.
Yeah, big thing is Campy needs to make sure no one gets through wood or the baby door. They're going to pop straight in. Eric somehow got up top. Imagine he Boston Bashed, and now Yomps and Eric are getting behind, and they're not going to be back in time. Should be
Eric's going to join him on last. Zayla's going to try to come in to contest, but he's going to get 2-shot, and that's going to be 2-0 win here for Froyotech as they take the RGL final.
Congratulations to Froyotech for taking that 2 maps, winning the best of 5 series, and going undefeated in season 1 of RGL. They are going to take the lion's share of the 9,500 thousand. I mean, so much money. I'm used to saying such little money. 9,500 prize pool here as they take it. As it's a nice job and a really convincing when they're on Gullywash, would you say?
Yep, the Froyo, one of their staple maps. This and Process being one of the best ones, and yeah, Smiley had a really good chance on Viaduct, but so close on almost every round, couldn't pull it out in the end.
Yeah, just I think everybody wanted a little bit of a closer game. We kind of got that, out of the first game. But I'm kind of curious to look up these logs here, so I'm going to try to pull them up myself. Because I'm just kind of curious about the damage. Because I mean, did Smiley even ever get them on, like, their final point? Like, did they even? I
don't even know if they got them on their second. I think they got mid the one time, and I think that's about as close as they got.
Yeah, just showing why Froyotech is just so dominant, and kind of the difference also between 5CP and Koth, where they just a little bit closer when you get the chance. But yeah, just once again, at least I don't know if we have combined logs yet, but in that first half, Banny and Eric top fragging once again. That scout duel is just so devastating. It feels like. But yeah, coming to this, I mean, Marmaloo, I mean, kind of looking at this as all in companies. I mean, not a big surprise, would you say?
No, especially with Smiley Face not really scrimming that often, with a couple of their players being on different teams for what was supposed to be BTS, which I think is in the works of maybe coming back. But one big stat you want to look at for this is Froyo won 4 out of the 5 mids, and you can't be winning a game if you're just losing all the mids, especially how they ended up going with a lot of them transitioning straight into Smiley's last, where they didn't have a chance of getting out most of the time.
Yeah, if you look at the closest round inside of that Gullywash game, it was actually, they had even damage. Froyotech only had 100 more damage than Smiley, but they actually had 10 more kills, about 25% more kills than Smiley. So it's just like, it's like one of these things where it's like, once again, Froyotech just being so clinical. And in that round, is actually Banny stepping up big with 16 frags in that third round. Of course, I mean, they were, right up there with 11, Eric behind him with 10. But not too big of a surprise, but, as you said, they're kind of building this up one for BTS. I mean, Frick, my Nick, let me ask you this question, big question. When do you think Froyotech will be taken down? Let's ask a very big question.
I mean, they've been dominant for as long as I've been playing the game. That's 3+ years, and it's hard to ask any one grouping of players to just win. Banny's been dominant since basically season 16 when they put together this team, and even before that, he had a long history of just being dominant in the scene. It's hard to find players that have the amount of experience and the wealth of knowledge to even contest for you and give them close games, let alone to just outright beat them. I think it'd be hard to ask that. With the current talent pool of the game, I think it'd be a little while, but I mean, there have been teams that have been able to contest them, but it's so hard to see them continue to contest them because Froyo is just so good at adapting. Like, you'll see one season they might be really well, but the next season Froyo just has their number and continues to 5-0 everybody.
Yeah, and I guess we'll continue to see. We are adding more money into that, the bounty prize on top of Froyotech, so just giving a little bit more incentive to teams to kind of try to grind out, try to give them a little bit reward if they're able, to take down the King, or if maybe some of the King players want to go to other teams and take down themselves and get a little extra money. I mean, who's to say? Marmalu, any kind of final thoughts you want to give on this match, or any kind of any other ideas you kind of want to share from our time today?
Not much, expected win, to be honest. Sad to see, but Froyo sticking together for so long, knowing everything, having all the time in the game. The main thing you need to see is people up and coming want to make invite and want to get better. Got to make sure we at least have teams trying to play invite. One big thing about ETF2L what's been happening is they actually have a cup to make invite. Nobody in advanced or IM really wants to make the jump and maybe take a 0-16 season, but you'll learn, you'll get better, and you'll maybe make it to one of these teams one day.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's one thing we're trying to do at RGL, is just at least make it more of a, well, I think it's kind of something from ESCA, whereas I don't quite know, but we're trying to do that with RGL and trying to create the smaller divisions, so you feel more of a move up, from one to another. You can have a little bit of success and kind of keep that rhythm going, hopefully all the way into invite, and hopefully we'll be seeing that this coming season. We'll definitely aiming to have a larger invite, so it's a little bit more competitive in that way, so there's not such a disparity from the first to the sixth place team. I mean, obviously there always will be that, but at least the kind of lower level teams will have some more competitive matches throughout the season. That's definitely one thing that we wanted to visit. Frick, my Nick, came in here, actually came here on time, fortunately. You got to cast that second match. Any kind of final thoughts you want to give on the season, on Froyotech, on whatever, kind of with the stuff?
It'd just be interesting. I just want to say, for all the people that are trying to be up and comers, stick with your team if possible. Like, try and work through it. I think you kind of see these cores of players that kind of rise through the ranks. Sticking with your team is big. It's, I don't know, the amount of synergy that you can build if you play for 3 or 4 seasons, and the amount that you can learn once you've kind of gotten like the all like the new like quirks moved out of your way, like as a team. Stick together with your teams. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, definitely. And big thanks to, just give a quick shout out here, TFTV doing some good casting throughout the season, and I appreciate you, Frick, my Nick, from joining us here and giving your experience over to our cast and joining us for this grand finals, and kind of making again, the big thing we want to do is we make this an event. We weren't able to quite hit that 1,000 number, but we had a pretty good viewership here tonight. All right, well, with that, we'll take it over to do some shout outs here. Marmalu, any shout outs you want to give?
Shout out to Corsa Nick Cart. Big fan, Couldn't pull it out tonight, but I believe.
I believe. All right, Frick, my Nick, any shouts you want to give?
Shout out to Brando.
Brando.
That's all.
That's it. I'm so used to people just like giving like 5 minutes of shout outs. I'm not used to you guys are so efficient at your shout outs. Well, I got a few to give out here. I'm going to be the 5-minute guy. Obviously big thanks to Dolphin doing consistent and great camera work, always trying to press on and do better and continue this. Doing 6s is a new challenge for him, and trying to learn how to do that effectively, but still kind of keep with our stylized of making a third person, the static camera angles to kind of allow new players to be able to better see the game and appreciate that. So thank you everybody with that. Big thanks to everybody who's coming out here and watching us tonight. That's so huge. Like, seriously, we're at 500 viewers right now. That's so amazing. Every time you choose to take part and help our viewerships do well, help grow the scene in that way, it's a small thing, but it really does make all of the difference. I mean, along with like signing up for the leagues, doing that. Season 2 will be starting up here in early January. Signups should be opening up in the next week or two, probably early December at the latest. But really, like, these things would not exist without you. And if you want to see TF2 grow, 1, like, you got to be there, and 2, you got to be the change to make that happen. Having that positivity, standing up for the community, that it needs to be, kind of taking a stand against, the kind of casual racism that has been rampant in certain parts of the community, and just kind of doing better about that. And I think we've, done a good job. RGL's coming together. We're a league that's been seeing growth. Our Highlander league has seen growth every single season, very, very consistently, and I'm looking forward to bringing that to the 6s community as we go into the next season. So, thank you everybody for coming out here, kind of jumping into that RGL mantra of wanting to have that positive community. It's really amazing to see it kind of come together as we also are figuring it out. We're not perfect, obviously. We're still kind of doing that. So big shout out to all, DAF, for doing that. Somebody asked about no restriction 6s. That's coming back in 2020. That'll be after the next 6s season. You'll see another no restriction 6s season. Daff, big ups for doing work with me, being the head admin. All of my admin staff who is there, Dub Think. I know you put in a lot of work here. Our graphics team for helping us out. We didn't have a lot of news writing this season. We're looking to do that. And then obviously all of the casters who have joined us. I don't have time to name everybody out here. We're going to be looking to expand our casting team and stuff like that. And that's a lot of rambling. I told you I was going to fucking talk a lot. But I think that's it. I think that's all I got to say. So congratulations once again to Froyotech for winning the Grand Champion Season 1. Give them some props out there. We're actually going to redirect you here. We do a thing with the winning team. We do a raid of their channel to reward them for their championship. And so we're going to be giving a raid out here to Banny. So once this stream's over, click that button, join the raid, go congratulate Banny for winning yet another title, or boo him for whatever you want to do. Give him some love, though. He deserves it. He put in another great season with his team. And once again, thank you guys so much. We couldn't do this here without you. And with that, I am Sigafu, joined out here with Marmaloo and Frick, my Nick to my side, Dolphin behind the scenes. And we will see you